Well, like I said, I don't think,
He try to save his life like he's scared of death. I got Hellstar on my body, bitch, I'm heaven sent. Hey, this UP cat nothing, we on fellowship. Been in this shit for some years, I ain't never left. Niggas try to save his life like he's scared of death. I got Hellstar on my body, bitch, I'm heaven sent. Hey, this UP cat nothing, we on fellowship. Florida Lee on my top, this a Saints hat. This the third Kempy been in, he a J cat. Nigga tryna steal the sauce, yeah, I hate that. But I ain't make the rules, I can't change that. New bottle, new wine, yeah, I can't crack. Look, flag on the play, they grabbing face masks. Niggas always saving hoes where your cape at. The only killer that you know without no face tag. Hell yeah, my bitch bad, Proverbs 31. Yeah, this is not a drill, I be 30'd up. Yeah, about to crack the sky, you better hurry up. It's all bad when you see us hang that jersey up. It's mad brick, I got the blick with my cover on. He a fed, he a op, got his cover blown. Look, I'm really outside without no skilly on. It's one West, bitch, I'm on with my brothers on. He got ranked, then he left, he broke another oath. I got the plate, we about to take another zone. They was sleeping on the team, now they comatose. Left his brother out to dry, I guess he wanna fall. Put the oil on his head, that's another soul. I try to tell him we a pro, don't do this shit at home. She unhappy, left her man, she a 304. He try to justify that shit, he broke the penal code. Been in this shit for some years, I ain't never left. Nigga try to save his life like he's scared of death. I got Hellstar on my body, bitch, I'm heaven sent. Hey, this UP cat nothing, we on fellowship. Been in this shit for some years, I ain't never left. Niggas try to save his life like he's scared of death. I got Hellstar on my body, bitch, I'm heaven sent. Hey, this UP cat nothing, we on fellowship. Gotta watch these niggas, they be cointel. LeBron ain't never killed nobody, but I know he will. It's on me everywhere I go, yeah, that's the holy seal. My niggas itching when it's up, you better not touch a chair. Ooh, I'm with the extra, that's on the back. He ain't loyal to his brothers, how you follow that? She either working with her hands or she off her bag. Broke bitches, yeah, they done that give me a heart attack. You see the banner but my head, I'm a part of that. These niggas cowards, pussies, we don't want no parts in that. They let our warrior out of prison, he ain't going back. And don't be speaking on the truth, cause we with all of that. Look, before they started dissing, they was fans first. You will never catch me digging in no man purse. Really put my brick in, that's why my hands hurt. And don't be speaking bullshit, that make my head hurt. Look, I done burn my fingers from the Michael Drake. For the brotherhood, I done threw my life away. I never see him, tell him come out from their high place. We can't do it, we told them we gon' find a way. They'd rather march 1,000 deep, we rather feed the people. They wouldn't put on all black, now he reading Hebrew. UPK the standard if you speak on Hebrew. Don't think they solid, get with them niggas just gon' leave me. Been in this shit for some years, I ain't never left. Nigga try to save his life like he's scared of death. I got Hellstar on my body, bitch, I'm heaven sent. Hey, this UP cat nothing, we on fellowship. Been in this shit for some years, I ain't never left. Nigga try to save his life like he's scared of death. I got Hellstar on my body, bitch, I'm heaven sent. Hey, this UP cat, nothing, we on fellowship.
Ooh, 27 Club.
All right, gang, let's really nail it this time. Here we go. A 1, a 2, a 1.
Yeah. Let's go ahead, clap it up. Do y'all see a mic around here? Is there a mic up there? If not, we'll just go on without it. If it is, let's hook it up real quick while we shot. Yeah, I forgot about that. But we are the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. We started out on 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana, Precinct Officer 5000, Kassar Pakat. This is the ISUPK Northern California, ISUPK Sacramento, ISUPK Bay Area, Oakland. Thursday night scripture breakdown class. If you are in the area in the Northern California zone, come into class 2213 McDonald Avenue. All right, no sweat, no sweat. It's probably in the camp equipment somewhere. We're just gonna get old school with it and read loud. So, first things first, let's go with any questions in the room. Okay.
So I gotta get a breakdown on Proverbs 31 verse 4. I think 4 to 5. Or 4 to 6.
Okay. Any specific question about it?
The question is, a lot of people I think will take this precept or these couple of lines and make it seem like we're not supposed to drink, or we're not supposed to, or like, your house party was supposed to drink.
The house I wasn't supposed to drink?
Gotcha.
Okay. No sweat. Go ahead.
I was just trying to get a breakdown on this and what this is saying.
Okay. Go ahead.
This is about the Proverbs, chapter 31, verse 4.
Let's go.
It is not for kings, Lemuel. It is not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes drunk strong drink, lest they drink and forget the law and pervert the judgment of any of the afflicted. Verse 6. Give strong drink unto him that is ready to perish, and wine unto those that be of heavy hearts.
All right. Is that it? Or what? Let's start again. Slowly. Let's go. Let's start. He said verse 4? All right.
It is not for kings, Lemuel. It is not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes to strong drink.
Right.
Lest they drink and forget the law and pervert the judgment of any of the afflicted.
Right.
Give strong drink unto him that is ready to perish, and wine unto those that be of heavy hearts.
Right.
Let him drink and forget his poverty,
right,
and remember his misery no more.
Right. Go ahead, break it down.
It's like
what's being said here.
The best breakdown I have to give this, or these couple of lines in right here, is like it's wiser for kings or for people in high seats not to drink, and for people under them that are oppressed, it's more so okay, or looked at as not as like the law is less strict on them.
Right.
Because they're oppressed and they're going through what they're going through on the daily. So I can,
Okay. All right. So it's a few things away to address that. I got a couple precepts for you. If you want to be the most direct, right? In a battle, you want to be straight to the point and just leave them no room for any way out, right? It's called putting people in a box. And so this is something that you can grow in your skills getting seasoned, right? So just to do that first, to get it out the way, we'll do that. Then I'll address some of the things that you said about Yahweh Shai, and then we'll move forward. So give me 1 Timothy chapter 5 and verse 23, right? We get this a lot when they talk about us drinking in class and things like that. There's other precepts where it says you're not supposed to drink in the temple or the tabernacle, things of that nature, right? It's pretty much the same thing. First Timothy chapter 5 and verse 23. And while you're grabbing that, I will say we've heard these things growing up. Like if you say this person, my uncle is a drinker, what does that mean? Go ahead, young man. Say your verse.
like y'all go out
Why do you say that?
because my uncle is an alcoholic.
Everybody's uncle is an alcoholic, right? But you say he's a drinker, then he means we know that it means he's an alcoholic, right? Or he drinks a lot, right? But there are other people that drink alcohol as well, but you wouldn't call them a drinker. You see what I'm saying? Right. That's what's really going on here. It's nothing more, nothing less. It's talking about not being alcoholic. Someone that's a leader shouldn't be an alcoholic. You know what I mean? But let's go ahead and get this precept. And this is how you would cut them on that.
It's like so you said 1 Timothy
5 and 23.
5 and 23. Look at 1 Timothy chapter 5 and 23. Drink no longer water.
It says what?
Drink no longer water.
Right.
But use a little wine for thy stomach's sake.
For what?
For thy stomach's sake.
So this said to do what?
To drink wine.
No, right. But what did it say not to do?
Drink no longer water.
Right. So does that mean we should not drink water at all?
Awesome.
How do you know that so quickly?
Because we need water.
Right. Okay. But it doesn't make sense. Like this, it looks out of order just to say don't drink water. I don't know what this is. Y'all see something on here? Tripping. Oh shit. Oh, damn, there's something hanging from my headpiece though. Tripping. All right. But yeah, it's not saying to not drink water ever again. It's saying that if you are going to do something, you finish reading the precept? It said for your stomach's sake, right? Right. So if you go into a camp speaking and you might be a little nervous, take a shot, take the edge off, and don't just drink water. Don't be so over righteous that you won't take a shot of drink just to calm your nerves. For your stomach's sake, to gird up your loins, that helps you, you know what I'm saying, relax a little bit. Take a little bit of wine and move forward. You know what I'm saying? So no one would ever tell you this is saying not to drink water. They can clearly understand that. So when you go back to the precept and you read it, it's not saying for a king to never drink alcohol. It's saying don't be an alcoholic. You understand? Don't be a drunkard. And the way you can tell it, it reveals itself in here one more time. So let's go back to Proverbs. We're done with Timothy. And then I got a couple more precepts. We'll move to them real quick. Damn, I don't know what it is about these glasses, but every time I'm going to start wearing these. I can't see out of them. Proverbs 31 and start at verse 4.
Okay. Proverbs 31, verse 4.
Right.
It is not for kings Oh,
Read it nice and loud so they can hear you online.
it is not for kings.
Right?
Oh, Lemuel, it is not for kings to drink wine.
Right. It is not for kings, O Lemuel, it is not for kings to drink wine, nor, can you go ahead?
Nor for princes strong drink.
Right. And Shalom, Yahweh Shah Barakatah, sir. Also 5,000 Matabar. Shalom, Yahweh Shemarathon, Bashim Yon Shah to the sister right here as well. It's saying that once again, it's not for kings, it's not for leaders to drink like an alcoholic. Go ahead. And this reveals it right here, verse 5.
Lest they drink
Uh-huh.
and forget the law.
Right. So I saw one movie, it was like these people getting married, and it was like these homegirls from college, they have her bachelor party, and one of the, I think it was like an Asian girl drinking with the Edomite woman, and she was just, they call it like party drunk, or forget the other one, man, where someone is just such a lightweight, they just start sloppy drunk. Yeah, she was sloppy, and it's like she only had a little cup of wine or something, and she was like, you should have learned how to drink in college. Like, how are you a grown-ass woman? You damn near 30 or in your 30s, you can't drink a cup of wine without falling over the place trying to sleep with everybody in the building. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, how are you going to forget the law of God with a cup of wine? How are you going to forget the laws of God with a shot? It doesn't make sense. How are you going to forget how to be righteous with having a glass of alcohol? What's going to make you forget the law and do things unlawful, unrighteous, unseemly is being a pissy, sloppy drunk. Waking up in your urine, waking up in jail in the drunk tank, getting DUIs, fighting your family, beating your children. That is going to make you forget the law because you're a stinking alcoholic. Right. You understand? So it's not addressing someone drinking any alcohol. It's addressing someone being alcoholic. Keep going. Anything else? Let's keep going.
And pervert the judgment of any of the afflicted.
Right. Go ahead.
Give strong drink unto him that is ready to perish.
That is ready to die. We've seen in the movies. They go into Vietnam. Someone got 100 bullets riddled in them. They're about to die. Give him some morphine. Give him some heroin. Like, give him this strong drug to take his pain away as he's dying. Give him that. Let him down the whole fifth of Jack Daniels. Like, my lung is over there. You know what I'm saying? And my hand is over there. Like, give me some strong drink before I perish, before I die, so I can ease the pain and go away like this. You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
And wine unto those that be of heavy heart.
Right. People that are in deep depression, heavy heart. Your son just got killed today. He 5 years old. We hear about it in a rap song, man. This is a 1-year-old that shot himself with my gun, man. All right. You might need to drink tonight. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not going to just give you a shot tonight. Like, you might need to, you feel me? Relax for real, because you went through something so traumatic. This is not an everyday thing. We're not going to say, hey, nigga, kill a fifth every day. But you went through this today. We get it. Sometimes you need to do that because you went through something so traumatic. You understand? Anything else?
Let him drink and forget his poverty.
Right.
And remember his misery no more.
Right. You see how it goes hand in hand? It's like if you're drinking so much, you're going to forget the law of God is because you're effed up. If you're drinking so much, you're going to forget your misery and your poverty and the things you're going through. You are getting to the point where you are getting messed up. And it's the same thing. I remember Calvin Cotters was saying, like, he was coming to the corner store and some lady outside, homeless in New York, living a horrible life, he could tell. She was like, man, can I, get a couple dollars? He's like, yeah, for sure. He went in, the guy's like, you want a beer or something, like a shot or whatever, and got her that. It's like, man, you're going through so much. I get why you need a drink when you're out here living on the streets. You know what I'm saying? So that's the spirit of that. I got a couple more precepts. Let's go to Luke real quick. Luke 7:34. They talk about Yahweh Shai. 7:34. Yep. Whoever got it first, go ahead and read it. Luke 7:34.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 7, verse 34.
We're at 33.
33.
Mm-hmm.
For John the Baptist came neither eating bread nor drinking wine. And ye say, he hath a devil.
Right. So these men were always coming at Christ, trying to cut him for these different things. The Sadducees and Pharisees rejected him, and they always trying to find a fault with him. And so this is the same thing that they'll do with us in the UPK. Like, I think we even saw, we went over to visit my family. I don't know if you noticed that, but it was like, oh, they drink while they're having class. You saw that? You didn't hear that. I don't know if it went. It's like people in the world, it's foreign to see this, right? But I know my family grew up in the Catholic Church, and the priest drinks wine every Sunday. But in their mind, since he's not doing it in the middle of the service, they don't see it. But it's notorious. Irish Catholic priests, the nuns getting messed up in the back off that wine. When whatever's left over the church service, they go and drink the rest of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's normal for them. But if they see you have a shot or a beer or whatever while you're teaching the Bible, it has to be evil. So John the Baptist, he came, he didn't eat. He was fasting all the time. His men were always fasting. He was eating honey and locusts. He wasn't going to the all-you-can-eat buffet. John was very humble man and very spiritual, right? So he wasn't drinking wine. He wasn't eating food. But they said he was evil for that. You see what I'm saying? They put John's head on a platter. The Pharisees hated him just like they hated Christ. Go ahead and read.
Verse 34.
Mm-hmm.
The Son of Man is come eating and drinking.
He's come eating and what?
Eating and drinking.
So who is the Son of Man?
Yahushua.
Right, get it right in. Right. This is Christ. He's talking in the third person. He said, I came eating and drinking. So I'm doing opposite of what John's doing. We're eating, we're having feast days, we're eating meat, we're eating vegetables, we're eating all manner of food, going to weddings, going to parties, eating with publicans and sinners. He's sitting down at the table, he's having food, right? And drinking. So Christ is saying he drank wine. He drank strong. He drank alcohol. Go ahead.
And he said, behold, a gluttonous man.
Right.
And a winebibber.
Right.
A friend of publicans and sinners.
Right. So we know what a gluttonous person is, right? Just overeating. And what is a winebibber? Youngest gentleman.
Person that drinks
a lot, right? Or another word for that is
drinking moderation.
Right, which is another word for or an alcoholic. You understand? So they were calling Christ an alcoholic because he drank wine. So he's like, you can't have both. Well, John is doing this, you say he's evil. I'm doing this, you say I'm evil. Keep reading.
But wisdom is justified of all her children.
Right. Break that down here, man. But wisdom.
Meaning, if John is doing this and he's doing all the things that I'm not doing, and Yahushua is doing all these things that they're perceiving as worldly. Where is the middle ground for them? Where is the wisdom? Wisdom overpowers all that which you are seeing for face value. Talk to that man, and you'll see that he's not what you're perceiving him to be.
Yeah, that's on it. Just get it straight to the point. It says, but wisdom is justified. What does that mean?
Wisdom, like, you don't know what they didn't know what they were talking about. They didn't have the wisdom to see what this man was all about.
Okay. And of all her children, I need that part. Let's see if we put it together, then we're gonna have this. You know what I mean? I'm taking time today. We're gonna, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I'll talk to the brother. He said this is how this. So I like, you know what I mean? This is how I learned too. So we're gonna, you know what I mean, give everybody a shot.
God. The wisdom is justifying all our children. I think Wisdom meaning that, like, if they knew any better, they wouldn't judge him this way. They wouldn't see him drinking and think that, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
They would have the wisdom. It would justify everything that he's doing.
Okay, it's close. It's close. Give you a shot. Go ahead.
Wisdom is like he had the understanding to know, like, he wasn't being an alcoholic.
Okay, let's just break. I'm gonna read it and have you break it. But wisdom is justified. What does that mean?
He's justified by the law.
What is the wisdom?
Understanding.
Okay, all right. Understanding is justified. What does that mean?
So right.
Okay. Understanding is made right of all her children.
All the children of Israel.
Lie. You got it now?
It protects, is justified. It protects the children.
Not quite. So then I'll break it down for y'all real quick. So what he's saying is, you say John is evil. He does this. I'm doing the opposite. You say I'm evil. Wisdom, they liken wisdom to a woman. You hear that over and over and over in the Bible. Someone that is wise, who has understanding, will know who is wise based on her children. Make sense? What's another way to say that? What did Christ say?
You will know them by their fruit.
There it is, right there. That's what Christ is saying. As he's getting straight to the point, he's just saying, wisdom is justified of all her children. The wise man, the one that's teaching the truth, you're going to see it in their children. So the Pope, he drinks wine. His children are child molesters. General Hyman drinks wine. His children are brothers in the UBK. You know what I'm saying? You're going to know Christ is a righteous man because of his followers. So damn what you think it looks like. Damn in your mind what you think is going on here. Don't say that this man is an evil man because your perception of what you believe, because someone else, who doesn't drink wine at church? TD Jakes. Who doesn't drink liquor while they're teaching the Bible? Creflo Dollar. But those are some of the most evil and vile, disgusting men on planet Earth, just like the Sadducees and Pharisees that were trying to cut Christ for chilling with the sinners, for chilling with the publicans, for drinking wine. You know what I mean? Wisdom will give you the mindset to see you will know them by their fruit. So that's one of the very powerful precepts that Christ said. And then another one, I'll paraphrase it, but we all know this one. I think it's in 1 Corinthians 11 and 24. It says something, I'm just going to paraphrase it. Take, eat, this is my body, which is broken for you. Do this in remembrance of me. After the same manner, also he took the cup when he had supped, saying, this cup is the New Testament of my blood. Do ye as oft as ye drink it in remembrance of me. Christ told his disciples to drink wine in remembrance of him. So clearly, there's some discrepancy between Proverbs 31 and then believing that Christ didn't drink or was told not to drink or didn't want his followers to drink alcohol. Cool? All right, next question.
I was going to say, like, what was your thoughts on, like, Spain and Portugal?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they had, like, mass blackouts over there.
Okay.
Like the past couple of days, and it brought me back to, like in the scriptures in Exodus when they said that Egypt was going to be darkened for 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew, like, that meant, like, the moon was going to block the sun for 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
And not, like, real electricity, but
Mm-hmm.
like today you have, like, real electricity and they can literally cause blackouts and stuff like that. I just want to know your thoughts on that. And, like, is it like a scripture for that?
A scripture in what way? So you can always go, meaning this is a sign of the times type thing. Right. I know there's one in the Apocrypha that talks about how dark it was in Egypt, and they were like scared of the shadows. It was something that was going through in Egypt. But as far as I would just go to Matthew 24, of anything that we're living through right now, that kind of gets straight to the point of prophecies of what will come.
Because I had,
Mhm.
I knew I had read one in Revelation where it
Mhm.
said that Egypt was going to be darkened for 3 days, but
Mhm.
I couldn't find it. I know, but I do know it is in Exodus, so.
Right. So we got also Matthew 24, but I wouldn't necessarily like say that situation is that, but these things that are happening all around the world, earthquakes, wars, rumors of wars, these things are definitely signs of the times that we're living in. But we can go to Matthew 24. I'll show you a couple of precepts in there addressing the darkness as well. Go ahead.
So just a question to that as well. If we are considered spiritual Babylon, is Europe as well everywhere? Is everywhere that is ran by the white man considered spiritual Babylon as well?
Yes, because when you go into what does it say? When it says the 666, right? I got you. 666 is the number of a man. There's 666 people that run the markets, running the governments around the world. These are men that have power and they do work in unison, whether it's called NATO, whether it's called, what is another thing, the G7. I think they got up to G19 now. It's a conglomerate of people that these families and different men that work together to run the world. And all of them would be a part of the Babylonian Empire, especially the Western European nations, because they work as one. You even see today they have something called the European Union. So there is no real just France or just Spain, or on some level they all use the same money. They all follow under certain laws. They can travel to each other countries. That's what that issue with Brexit was about a few years ago. They wanted to break away from the European Union. But on some level, they are confederate against they have become one group of people. The head of that snake or the head of that eagle is America, because this nation calls all the shots for these other European nations. They follow in suit. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that add-on to that. Just like God says, like she's the whore that sits on many waters. He's talking about like the military base.
Right.
Military bases that's on everywhere.
That's a good point. Get a brother in. You know what I'm saying? America has military bases in all these different nations around the world. So if anything pops off, they're already on the ground to have action against them or to protect them too if a foreign enemy comes to get them and they say that we're allies with America. So Rome was known for doing that as well. They would call them putting garrisons. They would have a garrison in different parts of the land. They would have a structure built up. So you know that this is where the Roman soldiers can come to. This is where they have weapons already ready in each different zone of the Roman Empire. This is what America is doing, just following the script from back then. And like I said, ancient Babylonians, the more you go back up and do research, you realize a lot of these scripts and plays come from ancient Babylon, come from ancient Egypt, come from ancient Assyria. It's a certain way they all carry themselves because they were trying to take over the world and build a large empire. Yeah. All right. Well, let's go to Matthew 24. Now, this one right here is something you had mentioned. Let's go to verse 29.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken.
Right. So even in today's scientists, if you go look up thermonuclear war, they'll say after a nuclear blast, they will have a winter, what is it called, nuclear winter, where the sun will be blocked out and it'll be darkness and it lasts for a certain extended period of time. All the trees and plant life will die out. Many people will starve after a nuclear blast. So that's the real darkness I would look to as a prophecy. As far as a blackout, you can never just say, but some of these things are signs of the times when it comes to wars and rumors of wars. If they're saying it was a cyber attack or something like that, is that what they're saying it was?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of it, it's like a lot of it comes from they're saying like they'll pretty much shut down their power grids, have EMPs, which EMP is
Right.
an electromagnetic pulse, where it can shut down all your electricity, all your electronic devices and stuff like that.
Right. So yeah, for that I will use verse 6 then.
Verse 6.
Yeah.
This is verse 6.
Mhm.
And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars.
Mhm.
See that ye be not troubled.
Right.
For all these things must come to pass,
Mhm.
but the end is not yet.
Right. So these type of things, these cyber wars, cyber attacks, these scuffles with Yemen, Lebanon, Israel, Palestine, all these different things, wars, rumors of wars, it's the beginning of this tribulation, but it's not the end. You understand? Read verse 7 too.
Verse 7.
Mhm.
For nation shall rise against nation,
Right. This is talking about race wars. That's going to happen as well. Right.
and kingdom against kingdom.
Right. This is governments fighting each other, world wars happening. Keep going.
And there shall be famines
Mhm.
and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places.
Right. So all these things, we'll start seeing these things is like birthing pains. When you know a woman's about to go into labor, it's because she starts having contractions. The earth is going to be going through these contractions, famines, earthquakes, wars, rumors of wars, and different places all around the earth. All these things in verse 8 it says are the beginning of sorrows. So that's just the beginning. Like, you know what I'm saying? Somebody's worst day and an earthquake can happen and a million people can die. That's just the beginning. That's not the end all be all. Yep. Go ahead.
Now, I was also looking at another scripture, but I know it's in my apocrypha.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, you might know it.
Right.
It's the one where it's talking about all of the arrows are going to come out of the sky
Mm.
and fall down. I think it's in Ezra's.
Anything else on it?
That's all
That's
I
it.
remember.
And what is it about that?
I guess he was trying to describe like future prophecy.
Mm-hmm.
Like he said, like he was going to get a bunch of arrows coming out of the sky and they're going to be falling down out of the sky.
Mm.
And I thought that I was going to ask you, is that one? Can you use that one for nuclear missiles coming out of the sky? Because you know how like John the Revelator, he was just seeing things like, he was just trying to make it to where it could make sense to him at this time. But now we know, like, okay, those is actually nuclear missiles and stuff.
Right. Yeah, I'd have to see that one pulled up. It's not coming across my mind just right now. Good.
Just to add on to that as
But it
well.
might be second Ezra. It's either like 36, 37, somewhere in there. A lot of those prophecies are in that area right there.
Oh,
Yeah, 36 to 38, somewhere in there.
I was saying, just to add on to that as well, as a sign of the times, I know that I've gotten this breakdown plenty of times about measuring the times diligently and what that means.
Mm-hmm.
But I also hear people refer to Earth as the mother and having birthing pains a lot, and that like you can also consider the Earth as a star in a sense, right? Not like the same as like the sun would be, but this planet is as of a star as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like connecting that to the woman clothing the sun and the moon at her feet, like is that have some type of correlation with the birthing pains as well? like if you were to somewhat connect the constellations in the sky to what the Bible is talking about in Revelations, and somehow looking up at the sky and telling by these times or how the constellations line up, that we are in the end times as well.
I think
I
Matt.
was connected to
But
I was connecting to what he said because of the eclipse, having the moon go in front of the sun.
I didn't hear that part. What he was saying. That part. I may have missed
the
it.
moon going in front of the sun for 3 days.
Is that what you said? I didn't.
Yeah,
And
kind of. Like I was saying, like for the moon, like when it darkens for 3 days, I was trying to compare it to the Spain Portugal thing. But
Got it.
Scripture says that the moon had blocked out the sun
Word.
for 3 days,
Right.
and that's why Egypt was dark for 3 days.
Right.
But I was trying to find it in Revelation, but I forgot.
It's like, if that were to happen, and if that's the scripture of the end times, why is it wrong to look into the sky to see if the constellation has some correlation with the end time and how things line up within the skies?
I wouldn't say, because this is talking about retroactively. It's not a sign. It's saying this has already happened. This is what is going to happen. If that makes sense. It's not a sign of what's going to happen. It's happened at that point. The moon is moving and blocking the sun. There's darkness over the earth after something has already happened. So it's like you looking for that to be a sign when it's something that's already going on. You know what I'm saying? So the precept, Matthew 24, tells you the things that you will look for to see, right? But Christ also says, where is that at? And I see too, young man. What is it? If you get the precept in Matthew, it's right there. So like
Matthew 24,
36.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 36.
Start at verse 35.
Verse 35. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away.
Right. These things, the nations that are ruling, they'll come, they'll fall. All these things may go, but the things that Yahushua is saying is not going to end. Keep going.
Verse 36. But of that day and hour knoweth no man.
Knoweth who?
Knoweth no man.
Right.
No, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only.
Right. So there are things that are going to happen that's going to let you know that we are approaching this time, but there is not going to be one set of events that can tell you this is going to happen this day, right? Even if, because I know there was a prophecy by Ariado saying this is going to happen this year, then we got an extension, right? It's just like in the book of Jonah, he was told this was going to happen to Nineveh in this day. It didn't happen at that time, but it was pushed back to another time. So these things are going to happen, but no man is going to be able to read something and say this is going to happen then, because the Lord can always extend the time, shorten the time, depending on his choice. You know what I'm saying? So the angels don't have that. Even Yahushua, the Most High God, knows when the moment is going to be that this thing comes to completion. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say I found it.
Go ahead.
Second Ezra 16.
Oh, 16?
Yeah.
All right, let's get to it.
It's you want to read it?
Yeah, 16 and where?
16 and I was going to ask you 16 and 1.
All right.
Second Ezra 16. You don't have to read all of it.
Right.
pretty long.
What is there any specific part you want to go to? The
Like-
question, or you just wanted to just bring it up?
Just a question on the whole thing. Like, is it like saying like is this talking about a future prophecy, or is this talking about back then?
Right. So, Bob plagues. Well, let me turn. Yeah. Let me just make sure. Nation. Mm-hmm. 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 I just want to give you a straight precept in here to show this is. Let's see. From there with. Let's see. Yeah, there it is right there. So yeah, go to the verses you want.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16 and verse 1. Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Girt up yourselves with cloth and sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand.
Right. So all these nations that have enriched themselves with Babylon, with America, they're going to be destroyed. Everyone is going to be brought to their knees. Every knee shall bow. You can go through all these different verses, and it talks about the things that will come to them. Verse 12. Just skip through a little bit.
Verse, you want me to read?
Yeah. Unless you wanted to get to that Archer part.
Yeah.
Okay.
Verse 12. Verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
The earth quaketh, and the foundations thereof, the sea rises up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled.
Mm-hmm.
And the fishes thereof also before the Lord, and before the glory of his power.
Right. And so when you go through all these different things and prophecies, it is talking about the future. And the reason is you can go to verse 28.
Verse 28.
Mm-hmm.
For a city there shall be 10 left, and 2 of the field, which shall hide themselves in the thick groves, and in the cliffs of the rocks. Right.
So when it talks about for a city, there'll be 10 left and 2 of the field. If you go back to Matthew 24, it's alluding to this times as well. Matthew 24 and 40.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 40.
Mm-hmm.
Then shall 2 be in the field, the one shall be taken, and the other left.
Right. So this is talking about desolation. In the end times, there's going to be a great decrease in the amount of the population on planet Earth. So this is alluding to that in Ezra's, and also Yahushua talks about that in the last days as well. And when you read through here, you go through different parts, it explains that this will be the ultimate ending. Let me see if there's any more one that you could allude to that as well. But that's where it starts. But yeah, hopefully that can give you that. You'd have to go through a lot of this and break it down bit by bit.
Yeah, that's why I was like, it's kind of long.
Yeah, it is.
When I first read it, like it started to be a lot more clear to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like seeing how everything plays out,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just like, okay, now I see now I understand why they even took this whole entire 13 books out, even Ezra's out.
Right. Yeah, even verse 18. I'm just gonna read it real quick and we'll get go past this. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation, anguish are sent as scourges for amendment to make things right. And for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be mindful of their scourges. So it's a lot of the same things that Yahweh Shai was talking about. Wars, rumors of wars, famines, pestilence, disease. This is a mass destruction. It's not just one specific nation being destroyed, like a prophecy against Babylon Empire, the Egyptian Empire, this empire. This is happening across all of these at the same time. Yep. All right. Anything else before we go? What? We said Salah. Okay. All right. All right. One more time. We're gonna reset real quick. Wrap it up one more time. Let's get into it. Tonight's topic is if you don't accept multiple wives, you are pro-transformers. You understand? And I can't put transgenders in the title, but that's what that means. You promote the trans movement if you don't think a man can have multiple wives. You don't accept that is lawful, that is okay, that the Lord is not against this, then you are pro the trans movement. Who wants to? I know I gave this young man a little bit heads up on that, but I get this young man. Why do you think I'm saying that?
Because they're gonna end up wanting to have sex with a man.
Damn. Who is that? Hold on, you lost me on that one. Damn.
His mind gonna get to wondering. We gonna start having sex with a 9-year-old or something.
Damn. I ain't. Let me see. Tennis. Let me look it up real quick. Not quite. Or is slippery slope. I'm more addressing it towards the women, but there are a lot of Christian men specifically that attack this and teach this. People that wear purple a lot. They say that as well. So they are against a man having more than one wife. Go ahead.
Like I said, if you think men and women are equal, then you don't have any morals to say what a woman shouldn't do or what a man shouldn't do, because they are both equal in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
That means they can pretty much do anything, and anything goes for them.
Right. Yeah. I get it in. Right. Well, I'm looking it up right now too. What are some of the tenets of the transgender movement? What do they actually believe? Hold on, let me see. What does it mean? So a key tenet is the recognition of gender identity as a fundamental aspect of a person's self, separate from biological sex assigned at birth. So allowing someone to determine who they are based on how they feel is what this movement talks about. So how am I tying that into multiple wives? You want to give it a shot? Why am I saying that? Because what are a lot of the arguments of women or men that think a man should only have one wife? A lot of different ones they say, but there's a few ones that come up a lot.
One of them that I heard when I first came to the church, the women are not going to get along with each other. They're going to be fighting each other.
Okay. So they use that, right? What's another thing they say? The women always say, if
you could do it, I can.
why can't I do it? That's usually a lot of these new sisters, younger sisters for sure. That's their first go to. If you can do it, why can't the woman have more than one husband? Where do they get this mentality from? They get it from America. They get it from the Roman Empire. They get it from the Greeks because they've been brainwashed about this lie of equality. Go ahead up.
Like I say, Margaret Sanger, feminism.
Mm-hmm. I think she was more into, what's the other word they call it? Eugenics. But there's another one that is from the feminist movement. I don't know who they are. They're different women that promoted that. There was one that say she was a CIA agent. I forget her name off bat. But yeah, in the 60s, 70s, there was big grounds moved in the feminist movement, and that influenced, modern day women so much that they don't even know their ideology comes from these people, but it's how they live and how they think. And that's a very feminist ideology. Like to say men and women are the same or equal or should be treated equal, but they don't do equal things. Like a 12-year-old boy, damn near 13, can beat up a lot of grown women. You know what I'm saying? Like women, if they're fighting to be equal so much, why are they not doing construction like men? Why are they not doing, you understand, so many different industries that men are doing that are based off of physical labor? Because they're not equal. There are no two equals in anything. And once you come into the truth, you have to you got to make sure you wash that off. Because Christianity's been telling you that things are equal so long. America's being reinforcing that for so long that certain times that demon can hop on us and we think that everything has to be equal across the board. No, Commander Johanna is not equal to me. I'm not equal to him. I'm not equal to Captain Zariak. I don't expect to be seen or looked or thought in the same way as Captain Zariak ever. You know what I'm saying? But a woman comes, there's no difference. Captain Zariak, I don't give a damn who he is. She'll cuss him out. She'll cuss Commander Johanna. She'll talk crazy to General Hyman. We look like, damn, she out of her mind. You know what I'm saying? But they've been taught these things. And because society has become civilized, you will see them go and talk to him, to any man in any way, shape, or form. And if men weren't carrying themselves in certain ways, a lot of times they'd walk out with no teeth in their mouth. But men are not taking that physical difference in general and using it against women like that. So society gets to this point where they're lying to their daughters, people lying to their children and saying that there is girl power, there's girl magic, black girl magic, and they're raising them up to be actually over men because there is no equality. So in the reality is, if you put women up on this pedestal, they actually become the leaders of everyone else. And they're not equal because they're the ones that everyone is worshiping. So that'll get into my topic as well. Go ahead, up.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, you mentioned the lady who was part of this.
Gloria Steinem is her name. Her name came up to me right now.
Is this the same lady?
Steiner or something like that.
Is this the same lady that was a part of the BLM movement as well? Not
BLM, but I think she worked with different, she tried to work with different Black organizations. She might have been dealing with Angela Davis, who was dealing with the Black Panthers. A lot of them tried to intertwine the feminist movement into pro-Black movements and teach Black women these ideologies that the Black man is oppressing Black women and that they need to separate from their men. The whole time, white women were staying with their men and using it to gain power in the business world, but they were not trying to abandon their families or their nuclear family the way that Black women ran and followed. And what's the thing called Section 8 welfare, keep the man out of the household, all these different things came about in these times. But I want to get to some precepts before we go. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 3, and let's start at verse 11. So the multiple whys, the reason why I chose this topic is because when you come into the truth, there are demons that we all have to fight. There are things that our flesh wants to do that we have to fight. But sometimes when it comes to women, it comes to the sisters. A lot of times, I remember I was watching Captain Yadazar. He was like, one of the brothers was telling him, like, yeah, a lot of women just don't care about the truth and not at all. He was like, man, I think if we just give them a good breakdown, scripture breakdown, they'll see the things and understand what he was saying. He's like, sir, it's something deeper than that. And he was like, they went to the gas station. He was like, look, let's see. He went to them. They was like, sisters, both of y'all, do y'all believe in God? Yeah. Do y'all both believe in the Bible? Yeah. If I told you that you had to accept your man having more than one wife in order to get into heaven, would you accept it? They're like, hell no, not my God. You understand? You're taking that book too literal. What's another one? They said it was like, well, I'm just gonna have to go to hell then. He's like, damn, you right. It is something deeper. It's not gonna be no breakdown to this. There's something else going on here where it's become something in women that doesn't really accept the truth, and not accepting the truth of reading this and then seeing it and then going against it. What is that called? Go ahead.
A demon, sir?
Okay, I'll take that. That's right. Well, we'll give him a hand on that one. Yeah. It is a demon they have, but what is the demon making them become? It's making them become a
Prideful.
I'll take that too, but I'll give you a shot. Damn, all those good answers. But hypocrisy is one that comes to mind, or you don't have the faith. You really don't believe in this book, right? Because let's go ahead and read. I'm gonna try to get to these precepts. I'm gonna keep going through them.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
My son, despise not the chastising of the Lord.
The chastening of the Lord, right?
Yes, like the chastening of the Lord. Neither be weary of his correction.
Right. So when you come into the knowledge of the truth, you should appreciate correction. You should appreciate getting checked. You should appreciate the chastening of the Lord, because this is something that's going to save you or benefit you. If you were out here, you hitting licks, you robbing people, you see some OG on the corner, the OG like, man, I used to be robbing cats back in the day, and now I'm in a wheelchair because my last robbery that I went on ended up getting shot, and now I've been living like this for the rest of my life. Don't go out there and do that. Don't be like me. A wise person is going to take that correction and be like, damn, I was about to do 4 more robberies. Like, now I'm not going to do it. You know what I mean? Because I learned from this correction that this person of wisdom gave. Keep going.
Verse 12. For whom the Lord loveth, he correcteth.
Right.
Even as a father, the son in whom he delighteth.
Right. So a wise person is going to realize the correction is of love. It's changing your bad behavior, giving you the truth because they care about you. And so when it comes to situations where a woman is saying something like that, to correct them and let them know the truth, they're going to have to accept some things they don't like. Like, if it was lawful to smoke weed in the truth, would brothers be smoking weed in the truth? Yes. Absolutely. It didn't take too long. You understand? It'd be a blunt right up here, right now. It in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. You know what I'm saying? That's what we would be doing. But why don't we do it? You know what? Go ahead, young man. I know it's both of y'all young, but I'm yeah, exactly. Give them a hand, right? So now we have to see that something is going on in a lot of women, right? Not all women, but a lot of women's minds that are saying, I cannot accept this because it doesn't make me feel good. The only thing that I can do to suffer or sacrifice for is something that's for myself. But if you come to serve the Lord, this is the beginning of wisdom, is to fear the Lord. He's saying we can't smoke weed, so we're not going to do that. We can't commit adultery. How easy would it be to go and meet a woman and sleep with her and throw her away, as opposed to meeting a woman and making her a wife? It's a lot easier to sleep with a woman and throw her away, right? Right. But in order to be righteous, we don't do these things. It's not what you want to do. It's what the Lord is ordering us to do or to accept, right? And so that's the same thing. Well, let's keep going. Where we at? Verse
13.
Uh-huh.
Verse 13. Happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding.
Right. This should bring you joy because you have wisdom and understanding. Let's drop that. We're going to move. Let's go to the next precept. Let's go to yes, I'm up.
Sorry, I was just saying research.
Okay, go ahead.
I wanted to know. I'm not sure what the precept is. It's love like brothers to rebuke him.
Yep.
I don't know what the precept is.
Google that. Just Google that and see what comes up. And while you get that, let's go to Galatians 3:28. I think in a lot of times women think that the death and destruction that we were just talking about in Matthew 24, World War III, the end times, is only for the men. Like the Lord is gonna say, nah, this is just my precious daughter. She can do whatever she wants and nothing is going to happen to her. That's not being accountable. That's what America teaches, but the Bible doesn't give women that pass, right? And this precept proves it perfectly. They're not going to get the pass to go against what this book teaches and still be accepted by the Most High in Christ, right? And that's what this truth is about here in the UPK. When people come into here and they see the shield, they see, brothers in here, head wraps, and, teaching her, war scars on, sisters with their head wrapped up. We're not here to allow demons to dwell here comfortably, right? Because the first place Christ has to come and clean up is his own house. It's the same thing here that we have to do in the truth. Like, we can't have the house of the Lord and be defiled. You know what I mean? Going out and teach. We have to make sure this place is clean, and sisters have the burden to be righteous, just like brothers have the burden to be righteous. So the things that you have to do that you don't want to do, one of the brothers said, I think about getting high every day. You know what I'm saying? I think about smoking every day. I'm not at that point no more, but I get it. But there's a difference between thinking about this and doing that. You may have good days where your husband, if he does have another wife, that you accept it and you're okay with it. And the other days you get jealous, you're angry, you having these thoughts. But what do you do with them is what makes you righteous and unrighteous. If you're using this to go and set his car on fire, flatten his tire, calling her, hanging up the phone, calling her back, stalking her, all those different things, that is not the spirit of the Lord. It's not sisterhood. It's not brotherhood. It's nothing's good going to come of that. And that's exactly, I'm going to hold that question real quick. Let's go and read this one first.
Galatians 3:28.
18.
18.
Yep.
This is the book of Galatians, chapter 3 and verse 18.
Word. No,
For
I did. You're right. 28. I did call that my fault. That was my fault.
Verse 28.
Mm-hmm.
There is neither Jew nor Greek.
Right.
There is neither bond nor free.
Mm-hmm.
There is neither male nor female. For ye are all one in Yahushua.
Right. So the actual transgender movement, if you don't know, they use that precept to say that Christ ended gender roles. You know what I'm saying? That's how evil this place has become. Well, they will use this to say, see, the Bible says there is no more male, no more female. We're all one in Christ. But that's not what it's talking about. It's talking about these judgments, this accountability. We're not going to change it because you're a man, because you're a woman, because you're a Jew, because you're a Greek. You are going to be judged all the same across the board. And so the question I was going to ask y'all is, okay, damn, it's in my mind. Well, let's go. We'll keep going to these. You got something?
No, it's like, I'm just going to say, all you got to do is read verse 16.
Go ahead.
This is verse 16. Now to Abraham and his seed were the promises made.
Right.
He saith not, and to seeds as of many,
Right.
but as of one, and to thy seed, which is Yahushua.
Right. Okay, how you find that to this though?
Because it says neither Greek nor Jew, neither bond nor free, but we are one in Christ. But it's specifically saying that the seed of Abraham is going to be the one that's chosen.
Okay.
Promises.
Okay.
Same thing that it says in Romans 9.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's the one in Christ is talking about.
Oh, being the children of Israel.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Okay, that's part of it, but more specifically in this 1 and 28, go up to verse. Let's see.
Yeah.
Go to verse 20.
29, right?
I'm saying go up to 25.
25.
Right.
Verse 25. But after that faith is come.
Oh, sorry, you can start at 24.
24.
In this context, you're writing in closing of it in that part, but when you get to this part, why is he saying there's neither Jew nor Greek? Why is he saying there's neither male nor female? Is concerning this, right? Verse 24.
Verse 24. Wherefore the law was our schoolmaster to bring us unto Christ, that we might be justified by faith.
Right. The law as a schoolmaster is the teacher. The law tells you can't commit adultery. You can't you can't steal, you can't murder, you can't be a homosexual. All these things are what the law teaches us. This is how we learn how to be righteous, and that's what brought us to Christ and our zeal and wanting to be righteous, that we might be justified by faith. Keep going.
But after that faith is come, we are no longer under a schoolmaster.
Right. So if you believe that Christ is the Messiah, he died for you to have a second opportunity, you don't have to keep learning from these laws and these punishments. You have the Spirit now in order to do the things that he did based on his sacrifice. It's not giving you the pass to keep sinning, sacrificing. You've been convicted to have an actual change and repent and go in a different direction. Keep going.
But after that faith is come, we are no longer under a schoolmaster, for ye are all the children of God by faith in Yahushua.
Right, keep going.
For as many of you as have been baptized into Christ have put on Christ.
Right. So putting on Christ is like putting on clothes. Like you are putting on the Spirit of Yahushua. You are wearing him. You're dressing him. You're representing him everywhere. And so now that you're representing him and following the laws, keep going.
There is neither Jew nor Greek.
Right. We are all one in Christ, basically. Like this is the thing that unites us following Yahushua, us following these laws is what we are being judged as. right? And so when you go out, neither male nor female, like all those things, you don't get the pass as a woman to do whatever you want to do. You don't get the pass. Society may give you that pass, but Christ is not giving you that pass. So go ahead.
Just a more specific question, sir, if I may. It's saying neither Jew nor Greek. It means still talking to the Jews that were in that captivity at the time, right? Correct?
The Jews that were in captivity?
Neither Jew nor Greek. I mean, that were in captivity to the Greeks at the time, right?
Not necessarily in captivity. I wouldn't say it that way. So they were Israelites that became Greeks. They started to call themselves
as Gentiles.
Yeah, they started to call themselves Greeks. So in Second Maccabees 6:6, it talks about they were not allowed to call themselves a Jew anymore. Okay. And so we started to follow the Greek culture, name ourselves after Greek names, celebrate Greek holidays, go into their gymnasiums, do all the things that the Greeks were doing, and we weren't even identifying ourselves as Israelites anymore. Okay. And so when Paul was going out and doing these different teachings, they were meeting people that were calling themselves Greeks. He's like, nah, that is no more. You're not a Greek. You're not a Jew. You are following Christ. Okay. This is how you're going to be judged, because the Gentiles will say these Israelites are wrong. They from Jerusalem. They're hypocrites. And these people in Jerusalem are saying they're wrong. Look at them. They never did anything righteous their entire life. He's like, nah, this is a clean slate. We're following the way. This is how you're going to be judged. And if you are doing these things, then you are the seed of Abraham. It's not just a bloodline that makes you an Israelite. That's another reason why we say fake Israelites. Is the closing verse when you read that in 29. What makes you an Israelite indeed is you following the laws of God. You living how Christ was living. Okay. And the same thing that you are doing to be considered righteous is the same way you'll be judged. You know what I mean? So on that, let's move on for time's sake. So let's go to Revelation chapter 3, verse 15. Revelation chapter 3 and verse 15. So go ahead. You got it? And go ahead.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 3 and verse 15. Mm-hmm. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot.
Right.
I would thou were cold or hot.
Right. And we know Old English would is like the word want, right? So this is a letter to these different churches or schools. And he's saying, I know your works here. You are not either hot nor cold. You're neither cold nor hot. But I would want that you were either cold or hot. Keep going.
Because thou sayest, I am rich and increase with goods.
Oh, you missed 16.
Sorry. Mm-hmm. Verse 16. So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth.
Right. So basically, at some point in time, you have to pick a side in this battle, in this war of the truth. You cannot be on the fence. There is no room for that doing the work of the Lord. There is no room for that walking in the truth. You cannot be lukewarm. Like if you got some coffee, there's either hot coffee they sell you or cold coffee. They don't just sell you lukewarm, like you're gonna spit that out. Like, what the hell is this? Right. Either I want it really hot or I want it really cold. And why is Christ saying I would rather you and the truth to be hot or cold? What does that mean? Go ahead.
Like you were saying, sir, like there's no room for straddling on the fence. There's no room for you don't know if this is the truth or not. Mm-hmm. Either you believe it and your works show it, or you don't. And the reason why he's saying it's better is I think it's better if you don't, because if you leave the truth,
Mm-hmm.
your punishment is a lot worse than if you never heard of it at all, and you're you was just in the world the whole time.
Okay. I can see that. You got anything on that? So you
No, I was gonna say the scriptures do say that.
Mhm,
It says that you would have been better off in the world.
right. Exactly. So yeah, get a brother in. Yep. And just to add on to it, what the brothers bringing out is so heavy. It's like if you were to be lukewarm, it's almost like I'd rather you just be an actual enemy of me as opposed to being here but not really working for me too. Like gangbanging is always a good way of looking at it. It's like you are supposed to be with this side, this faction, but you hang out with both of us. You know what I'm saying? And you're inactive. You don't really do anything with us, but we're going to the function, and then all of our ops is over there, and you just as cool with them as you are cool with us, but you really don't put any work over here. It's like I'd rather someone be out there. At least I know how to attack them. At least I know I have a fight to at least change them too. If you got a brother out here and he's just straight 100% pimping, okay, you know these demons, we can fight them and we can see if we can change them. If not, then Lord be with him. This sister is doing this, maybe we can attack that and give her opportunity to change. But you saying you accept this, but you not really living this, is more offensive to the ones that are, and it's just going to destroy everything around. It's like you got to get away, you got to get out.
Okay.
You understand? Like you messing with them suckers, you be juggling the suckers. You got to go over there if you want to be lukewarm. But if you want to be here, you got to be the hot or be cold. I think it goes on a little bit more in there.
Verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 17. Because thou sayest, I am rich and increase with goods and have need of nothing, and knoweth not thou that thou art wretched and miserable and poor and blind and naked.
Right. And so it says, so then because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. Because thou sayest, I am rich and increase with goods and have need of nothing. I'm doing good. I got everything that I need. And you don't realize that you're really destroyed. You really don't have it all. It's like one of them, back in the day, he's talking about like crackhead women that think they still fine. You know what I'm saying? It's like you looking at her, like, you missing a couple of teeth, but they be doing their hair and it's like, I can see you. You are a dope head, auntie. You know what I'm saying? You need help. You need to go sit down. You're not fine. But they still think in their mind that they are the prom queen and it's 1988. Nah, it's 2028 and you look like trash right now. Like the Lord is seeing through this outside appearance. Oh, I'm in the truth. Yeah, about you, yeah, I was Shamar thought about you outside. The sisters is like, but you going through your husband's phone. You understand? You are constantly in disagreement. You trying to pull him away from doing the work of the Lord when you know it takes a sacrifice in order to get this stuff, this mission done.
Right.
You understand? So pick a side in that battle. All right. Let's see. Is there anything else on that? Bye. See. So yeah, let's just drop that. Let's go to. I got a couple more presets. So we'll close on now. Matter of fact, let's get to Matthew 6:24. And in doing a lot of research in this, getting back more straight to the topic, looking up the word narcissistic, like someone that is a narcissist wants people to admire them, wants them to worship them, wants them to, they don't want to be accountable, they don't have empathy for others. If you look at it, matter of fact, I'm going to pull it up real quick. When you really look into it, it's very similar to something. I want to see if y'all see it. Narcissist, blah, blah, blah. Definition, what is that? Narcissist is a person inflated with an inflated sense of self-importance, a deep need of excessive admiration, and a lack of empathy for others. They often have a grandiose sense of entitlement and preoccupation with fantasies of unlimited success or power. What could that describe? What is this similar to? Something that is very self-important, a need for excessive admiration. Go ahead. Say that here first.
Donald Trump, sir.
Ooh, we. Yeah. All right. The answer is on topic, and we're saying women feel like this about themselves. And how does that go against what the Lord is saying? I'll give you a shot. I might not be clear. It's a little bit vague. I'll get a little bit more. I'm not good with my questions. It's almost hard to answer.
You got to the question again.
So a narcissist, right? You're describing this. Women oftentimes are acting like this. There is something else that is similar to what is being described here, that they're almost making themselves like.
They're trying to make themselves like God.
There you go. That's the answer. Get you in there because God says unlimited success or power. Like there is something that is all powerful as the Most High God. It says need of excessive admiration. Like that's worship. Like the Lord commands that we obey him, commands that we worship him. So when you hear these descriptions of narcissists, you watch these different shows, the women on there. If a man get with me, he got to pay my bills. He got to feed all of my children, all the stepkids. He got to, you know what I'm saying, buy them clothes. And that's on day one date. Like a brother is just like, I need a little help with this. And I just need a little bit of quietness and shutting the hell up and feed me and do you whatever. And I'm happy. But women have this list of all these things because they want to be worshiped as a God in the earth.
Right.
Because if you're not, I got you. If you're not accepting that the Bible says this is how you need to be, then you are taking that place. And a lot of times, and we'll read this precept, and I got you too. A lot of times, sisters are going to the point where, okay, you either choose the truth or you choose me. You either choose what we're doing and what we're celebrating, or I'm leaving. I'm taking the kids with me. I'm putting you on child support. I'm getting full custody. All this because you want to serve your God.
Right.
No, nigga, you're not going to serve your God. You're going to serve me. I am the God in this relationship.
Right.
You understand? And that is evil and wicked as hell. So we have to humble them. You know what I'm saying? That's our job. Now, the sisters that are righteous, that are in the truth, they understand that. And they fight their flesh. They fight the things they're going through to say, you know what? These things I may not like, but in order for me to do what the Lord wants me to do, certain things I'm going to have to accept. And one of those things is a man potentially having more than one woman. You had something about?
I was going to say, it's heavy what you bring up because I was watching a video on social media and it had popped up and the woman was like, they were at dinner on a date with this man. She was on a date with this man.
Right.
And she was like, oh no, I'm going to order me some food and I'm going to order my 3 kids some food as well.
Right.
And I was like, you gonna order your 3 kids some food, and now I'm looking like at this thing, trying to look at the brother. I'm like, brother, why are you on the date with a woman that has 3 children?
Right.
With 3 different baby daddies.
Damn, 3. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Damn. Like,
Right.
what's wrong with you?
Yeah. I think this brother sent me something that was saying like there is, I don't know if you sent me that, it was something similar talking about this myth of the absent black father, but a lot of times it's women having more children with more different men than it is men having more children with different women. So even inside of that, once again, the imagery is that men out here doing all this, but women have access to wherever they want. One dude said a woman can run a lot further with her pants down than the man can. You know what I'm saying? Like men are seeking and trying to game a woman up to sleep with them. But if a woman go out and say to 10 different men, you want to sleep with me tonight? She can get 10 different men like that. Do that every day of the week. A man can't just go find 10 women every day of the night. So once again, it's showing you there's a difference between men and women. And if we don't accept those things can interfere with our families, our structure, and our order. You understand? And who wants our families to be destroyed? That's an easy answer. Anybody can get that quick. Who wants our families to be destroyed?
The white.
Right? Both y'all. You know what I mean? So clearly, the life that he is telling women, get a ring on your finger, monogamy, this is righteous, picket fence, household, one earner of the income, all those things they're learning watching TV is destroying their reality. Because at the end of this, all of them end up single, angry, with 4-5 different baby fathers, and they have nothing to show for it. When if they would have accepted this one man having another woman, they leave him to go get with another man that has another woman. And that other woman is going to be who? Let's see if y'all know this. This is old school. This is General Hyman. You have a rib. Y'all have kids with each other. You get another woman. She leaves you because you got another woman to go get with some other nigga who's going to get another woman. But who is this other woman going to be? What? Lie. Worse than that.
Oh, man.
No.
Yeah.
No. Is it the Christian pastor?
Damn. I'll take that. That's that other woman. You get in the gorilla world, yeah, but nah. He said, oh man, who said that? I think Jiddo Hazayan, he had Jiddo Muhammad cracking up on Black Watch on Monday. He said, man, talking about Gorilla Hebrew, he said, and gorillas don't do that, huh? You know what I'm saying? Why would you name yourself like that? Gorillas don't do that. You understand? But nah, that's a good, I'll take that answer. But there's even more sinister than that. The other woman, y'all don't know? I'm gonna give it to y'all then. You give one more shot out.
Is it something within the gorilla?
There's something I got to pull. This that time of class, brother. Not your woman, but you know what I'm saying? In this scenario, you have a wife, you have kids with her. She leaves you because you have another woman. She leaves you and go gets another man. That man is going to get another woman too. But this other woman is who? Yeah, your daughter, her daughter. He's going to sleep with her daughter. Am I making this up?
Wow.
Or do I got to pull the statistics up?
Wow.
Let's say 70% of molested daughters or women is stepfathers. That is something that is statistical. We can look it up. I brought it out when General Muhammad was teaching because he's been saying this. I'm like, damn, I read a study about this when I was in college in a collegiate journal that there is no, you know what I'm saying, coincidence that these grown men around another young woman growing up, living in the house, and these things are happening. But that's not how it was supposed to be. The Lord didn't make that to be the way things are. Does that mean every single stepfather? No, it's not doing that. Especially if you get a brother in the truth. That would be the wisest thing for any sister to do. However, these brothers in the world, this is a thing that's happening. You understand? A father is not going to sleep with his daughter. The odds of that are a lot rarer and a lot less likely as opposed to this man that is not the father of this child sleeping with her. And there's some people in the world that actually get off on that. You know what I'm saying? Whether they adults or not. It could be she is grown, you know what I'm saying, of legal age, but they like, oh, I met the daughter and now I slept with the mom. Some brothers doing it the other way. I done met the mom, now I'm sleeping with the daughter. They don't have any morals. They don't have any order, any structure because they don't follow the laws of God. And they are doing something that's very evil and wicked. And a lot of children are being harmed by this because women don't want to accept what the Lord is saying. It's the same way with any other thing in this Bible. You following your flesh leads to more pain and suffering than you think. In that one quick moment, I can meet this whore and sleep with her, but for the rest of my life, I got to deal with HIV/AIDS. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can be angry at your man for having another husband, but you have to live with the burden that you let this man in your household that is sleeping with your daughter, sleeping with your son now. You understand? Abusing your children. And so many women have that burden, especially, I want to say back in the days, but that was a big thing where mothers were denying their daughters of even accepting that this happened. Or they blamed them. It was your fast ass. That's why he did that. The movie Precious.
Right.
She blamed the daughter and treated her like she was the problem because she doesn't want to accept her responsibility for being a part of this, bringing this man into her household. So that's the evil that comes with this. And it's something that could be completely avoided. I see two hands. You ready?
No, just to add on to that there, what you're bringing up so heavy, because we was just talking about the 100 men.
Right.
Versus the gorilla. They came out with another one. 100 women versus accountability.
Damn, I seen that one. Yeah, you know what I mean? For real. You got any thoughts on that?
It's a lot of women that I've seen even on social media coming out and saying that, to that, like, this is true. Like, like y'all own species of people.
Sisters or whatever. I get what you're saying. Right. This is a big issue. And once again, we can never forget the devil in the details. It's not our women in essence. A lot of it is the oppressor's mind in our women, the oppressor's culture in our women, because Sarah didn't have no other, you know what I'm saying? Like, outside of her not wanting that kid to accept the inheritance, but Abraham went outside of what the Lord said to do. But just him having another wife or another, concubine, the women in the Bible accepted this reality. But now we've lost our culture. We come in today, it's like completely, they will literally turn down the kingdom of heaven just because of that jealousy. So let's go with the precept I had. Go ahead. Matthew. Right.
The book of Matthew, chapter 6 and verse 24. No man can serve two masters.
Right.
For either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve God and mammon.
Serve the Most High and mammon, money. You can't serve your woman and the Lord. Like, you're gonna have to make a decision of who is over you, who is the one that you obey, and that's it. There is no in between. There's no lukewarm to that. Either she is the one that's going to make the decision. If you don't celebrate Christmas, you don't come to birthday, you can't see your kids. All right, well then, shalom. I'm going to serve my God. Joshua, what is that, 24, 15, I believe, or 15 and 24, where it says, you can pull it, I think it's 15 and 24, real quick. And then I'm going to pull a couple of precepts just to move, because we right here at the closing out. But yeah, when you make her a goddess, which is another word they like to use, or my queen, which is something the Christian church has done. They have the highest amount of women in the Christian church. The what is it? The pro-black movement, the black movement. They say the black woman is God. All these things cater to what a woman wants to hear in order to take advantage of them. In the UPK, we're not going to tell you what you want to hear. We're going to tell you the truth. And that's because we genuinely care about you. That's why correction is love. Chastising is love. And it's easier for a lot of men to accept that because men naturally become soldiers and they know, okay, if I'm following the right leader, they're guiding me in the right direction. I'm willing to adjust. I'm willing to be accountable like you said, which is something that we have to teach our daughters and raise them up in order to have that when they get older. So that's why it's important for us to now raise up our daughters, because the oppressor is telling her what she wants to hear. You're going to have one man. That's all you're going to get. Pick a fence. And you're going to live happily ever after, just like this movie. But me as a good father, I'm not going to lie to my daughter and say you're going to meet some knight in shining armor and he is going to fall in love with you and never going to want another man. Another woman. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's going to be your only man. You know what I mean? That would be lying to her, and it's going to hurt her more than telling her the truth. And they have set our community up for failure by doing this over and over and over again, reinforcing this thing that's not a reality, because that's their culture and way of life. The white man does only want one wife because he doesn't want one wife at all. You know what I'm saying? The Romans and the Greeks, they don't even want to deal with a woman at all, but they'll suffer it just to have children. But if it was up to them, they would be Bruce Jenner. You see what he did? You see what I'm saying? He was like, I'm Bruce Jenner. I'm married to her. I got my kids. Ta-da! You know what I'm saying? This is really who I am. That's what they all would do. That's Roman and Greek culture. For years and years and years, they were only dealing with women in order to have kids. Outside of that, that's not what they wanted. So then we're watching this. Our women are growing up looking at this movie like, yeah, I'm just going to meet some knight in shining armor. He's going to sweep me away. When it's like, nigga, do you know who niggas are? Like, have you met a black man recently? You know what I'm saying? You can tell this 19-year-old, 20-year-old nigga to come out here, fly, and be like, yeah, man, just give it her 20 and that's it. No, this man is going to be fruitful and multiply, which is a glorious thing, and our nation will grow, and we would have our strong brothers growing their families, and they completely destroyed that by taking this away. So am I going to tell my daughter this is going to happen? In reality, she's going to be upset and grow up alone with no family, or say you probably going to meet a man and he's most likely going to get another woman. But you make sure inside of you finding that brother, he's doing this, and he's doing that. And we can find that here in the UPK. We're going to make sure you get an honorable brother and we can hold him accountable. He's got men over him, his father, we know him. We know his pedigree. We know his background. This is what you go for. This is what you choose. And if you listen to me, I can show you how to, I ain't going to say that word over here. You could be his favorite wife. The women don't hear that. Y'all my favorite wives. You know what I'm saying? But if you know how to treat a man, he's going to want to spend more time with you than this other one that's doing all this craziness and nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what a father can teach, because in society, even growing up, I've seen this even with my mom. She'll tell you how to treat a woman. You know what I'm saying? But I never hear them tell the daughters how to treat a man. It's like that whole idea has been gone. Make sure you open the door for a woman. Make sure you're doing this. Make sure you're doing that. Everyone tells men what to do. No one tells daughters what to do with their men. You know what I'm saying? But that's our job here as fathers. Go ahead. What I appreciate. We already at 9.
This is the book of Joshua, chapter 24 and verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
And if it seem evil unto you
right
to serve the Lord,
right,
choose you this day
mm-hmm.
whom ye will serve,
right,
rather the gods which your fathers served
mm-hmm.
that were on the other side,
right, in Egypt, in captivity, right,
of the flood,
mm-hmm.
or the gods of the Amorites,
Dang.
in whose land ye dwell.
Right.
But as for me and my house,
mm-hmm.
we will serve the Lord.
Right. That's what we're going to do here in the UVK. You can serve the Buddhist, Islam. You can serve the Egyptologists that say the black woman is God. You can do all that. The Christian church. But we're going to serve the Lord. We're going to do these things. We're going to obey him here. And that's what the sisters in the UPK are doing and learning to do. And so we're not going to make it easy. We're not going to water this down, because the last thing I'll say, the post I made earlier, I said, if women hated the white men as much as they hate their husband having another woman, the world will change tomorrow. You understand? Like that hatred, that energy that they're investing in going against this, if they use that to go against our oppressor, you see amazing things happen.
All right.
And it's another thing I always say, in order to keep the brotherhood together, if you hate your oppressor, it's easy to do the precept we was talking about, forgive your brother 7 times 70. You know what I'm saying? Like there's nothing any brother can do to me and still serve the Lord that the oppressor has done to me. So it's like, you didn't stole billions of dollars from me in my mind. I'm supposed to be a billionaire. My grandparents worked. I should have everything. I don't have anything. These oppressors owe me. What did this brother do? You know what I'm saying? You kidnapped my grandmother. You raped my grandmother. What can you do? You know what I'm saying? Like, I can easily forgive you. I go to work and smile and talk to them every day. I get in the bus or drive Uber. Where you want to go? You know what I'm saying? Like, you could treat white people like this, but you're going to be mad at your brother over this when they deserve absolute death for everything they've done to us. If women learn to see about what happened to Trayvon Martin, what happened to George Floyd, what happened to Sonia Massey, what happened to Harriet Tubman and Nat Turner, they ate Nat Turner. Like, you are not angry at that? If you were angry at that just enough to say, you know what, I don't like my husband having another wife, but in order for our nation to succeed and to see them be destroyed, I'll accept that. In order for our nation to succeed, this brother might have done this. I didn't appreciate that, but that's my nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm riding with this nigga. I'll forgive 100 of the offenses that whatever happened in order to see these goddamn devils fall. I'm nowhere near mad at you as I am at them. And if sisters got to learn that, that could save our families. If I hate them more and see what they've done to destroy our families, or that's how I got molested. Oh, my stepfather molested this sister. The women realize that, like, damn, what they're saying is true. This is what happened to me. You understand? My mother left my father, who didn't do this to me, got with some other man. He did it to me. Why would I do that to my children? I hate that reality. Even though I don't like it, I'm going to teach my kids this. Right. Understand? So that's pretty much that. I had another precept y'all can go over on your own. It was Amos 5:18, talking about when the destruction comes. There are people that are going to be doing so much pain and suffering that caveat, as I said this in the dream, I won't really necessarily break this precept down, but he said he was on the chariots and he said it wasn't a smooth ride. It was a dream he had. It's not like riding in a Cadillac where it's smooth Lincoln. You feel the boom, the shoot, boom, 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 boom. And he said they heard the screams out there. And the people seeing you get in the chariot, they're saying your name. And you looking out the window, he said the angel said, like, do not look out the window. I repeat, do not look out the window. And it was like, you hearing this? And he said, brothers on the spaceship, we're hearing these screams. They're like, it's enough. They had enough. It's like, nah, you keep trying to go and look. He said the floor became transparent. He looked down and it's like, if you keep on that, you're going to go down there with them too. You understand? So it's going to be so much destruction that a lot of hardcore brothers would almost want it to end. But these things, this evil that's happened on this earth, the Lord has seen all these things for years and years. We have to completely cleanse this place. So we have to be dedicated to obeying the Most High in Christ, knowing that this is coming. And that's why I have that precept here. It's like you have to realize there's not going to be any avoiding this. So we either get on the right track and accept it and move in that way. And it's something that a lot of sisters need to see, that we're headed in this direction. Whether you like it or not, you need to stay on the right path, regardless of how it makes you feel. Don't be emotional about these things. These things are set up for a certain reason. Go ahead.
No, the slack is heavy what you bringing up because it reminded me of Genesis and Noah.
Mm-hmm.
When he
Man.
got done building the ark,
Mm-hmm.
and once he got done building the ark, you could hear all the scriptures say you could hear all the people screaming outside
Mm-hmm.
the ark, screaming and saying help, they need help, and nobody can say it.
Damn. Yep. Get that brother hand. That's a good precept. Christ mentioned Noah in Matthew 24 too. So as in the days of Noah, people were eating and drinking and marrying right up until the day of the flood. This thing is a regular day, and that's how it's gonna be. I always imagine. This is why I probably don't like going to concerts. My homeboy in the world ruined this for me a long time ago. This is the last thing I'll say. He's just like, man, when you see them concerts, especially them techno ones, they just jumping up and down, pumping their fists. He's like, I could just see a fireball just coming and hitting it at the height of the do. They just having a good time. It's like, screaming, you know what I mean? And that's happened different times, even with Israel and Palestine. It was literally, they were out there partying all night till 7 a.m. Next thing you know, these people coming off of motorcycles in the sky, and they start hopping off the motorcycle and just start killing people. They having a good time. Like, that's how it is. They were eating and drinking and marrying. In that moment where you thinking this is just this concert is popping, all this music, that's when it's gonna hit. So we gotta be prepared for the moments and doing the work of the Lord, obeying these laws is how we stay in that right spot. So that was it for me. Anybody else do it? All right. Go ahead and close out the class like this. We're just gonna do a courtesy salute. If you can do the salute, I'll have you go through it. So how far can you? No, you don't gotta read. You just do a courtesy salute to the teacher and the sisters online.
Individual knowledge Shabbat.
Well, Malcolm first. Is that it? Then you say it.
Individual knowledge Shabbat. Mike. Rock. Y'all watching y'all Shabbat.
Y'all about Shem Yahshua Thumb.
Yah.
One courtesy salute to the sisters online.
One courtesy salute to the sisters online. Individual knowledge Shabbat. Mike. Rock.
Yahweh Kamal Ha'Tah Yahshua. Yadam Matah.
Yadam Matah. Dismissed.
All right.